Sadie Guinness, and I'm going to tell you what the will happen in Stranger Things Season 3, and please check out our playlist for more what the videos. Even though everything at the dance seems so sweet and happy, the final shot of the season reminds us that this battle with the shadow monster is far from over, as we see it lurking over the middle school in the Upside Down, like clearly pissed off and ready to take down these kids.
I don't care.
There you go, you're learning, my friend.
After that massive cliffhanger, the hiatus between seasons has felt like forever.
It's gonna be worth it.
But fortunately, Stranger Things Season 3 is going to premiere very soon on the 4th of July. The next season is going to jump forward a year in time, so it's going to be the summer of 1985 when we see the kids in Hawkins again.
At least someone's happy I'm home.
Dustin will have just returned back from summer camp, and while he was away, it seems like a lot has changed. Max and Lucas are going strong as a full-blown couple, so are Mike and Eleven. And actually, Eleven and Max are now like best friends apparently, which I love. I think they're so cute. Yeah. Love this female friendship. Now that the younger kids are preparing to enter high school, the season is also going to focus a lot on how they adjust to the trickier aspects of going from like children into young adulthood. And this is going to be especially hard for Will, who has like lost over a year of his life to the Upside Down. And so he's not going to be as ready as his friends to sort of let go of his childhood. There's also a chance that Dustin is going to feel really on the outs this season too, since so many of his friends have now coupled up. But fortunately, Dustin will always have his best friend Steve, who is still in Hawkins and working at the Starcourt Mall at an ice cream shop called Scoops Ahoy, where he is probably still pining over Nancy for some reason. All of that stuff seems like very normal teen stuff. This is still Stranger Things. Everything's gonna get weird. The shadow monster now knows who its enemies are and especially saw how formidable of a foe Eleven is. And so it's gonna use all of that knowledge when it comes back this season for a battle that's gonna be even bigger and even darker than the one we saw in season 2. All signs right now point to the shadow monster infecting the people of Hawkins, similar to what it did with Will, and it looks like Billy is gonna be one of its first victims. In the trailer, we see shots of Billy with these creepy black veins in his arm and even in his eyes. And so my theory is that the rats who were hanging out in like tunnels and sewers and stuff somehow got infected by the Upside Down, and maybe Billy got bit by a rat, and that's where this came from. Like, we've seen rats in a lot of promo material. One of the episodes is named the Mall Rats. Another one is named the Bite. And so like, I think the rats are biting people. Knowing one of the big inspirations for this season is George Romero, aka the guy who did Night of the Living Dead, it looks like season 3 might be introducing the Stranger Things version of zombies, with people becoming under the influence of the Upside Down. I'm also obsessed with this George Romero connection because the sequel to Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, actually took place in a mall, and so Starcourt Mall is probably going to be a massive set piece for this season. And we know the finale is titled The Battle of Starcourt, so definitely expect that to be where like the final showdown takes place this year. But unlike how the shadow monster possessed Will, it looks like the sort of infection this season is going to be a lot more nefarious. In the trailer, we get this shot of this new Upside Down monster. It is disgusting and amazing, and I think it might be Billy? My theory is that whatever this infection is, it's actually transforming people into Upside Down monsters, and perhaps even like merging multiple people together into this like one super monster rampaging in the hallways. With things with the Upside Down getting even more intense this season, it's a good thing they're gonna have one more person to help fight God knows what, because Lucas's younger sister Erica is gonna be a series regular in season 3.
Bunch of nerds.
And the trailer even shows her like getting her John McClane on and like really getting in on the action. We're also getting a lot of new characters who are gonna play pivotal roles this season. Maya Hawke is gonna play Robin, Steve's coworker at Scoops Ahoy.
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
She's a bored alt girl who discovers a dark secret in Hawkins and winds up joining this monster hunting group of teens that we love and really becomes one of the gang. Jake Busey joins the cast as Bruce, a super creepy, morally questionable journalist who works at the Hawkins Post with Jonathan, who gets a gig as a photographer there.
Happy 4th of July!
Keery Elwes will also star as the new mayor of Hawkins, Klein, who is a sleazy politician and way more concerned with his own image than actually doing right by the people of Hawkins. In the trailer, we see people protesting Klein and how the mall is destroying downtown. The season will also introduce Francesca Reel as Heather, a lifeguard who works with Billy at the local pool. We know that Heather is going to be the center of a mystery this season, and one of the episodes is called The Case of the Missing Lifeguard. I think it's pretty obvious that Heather is almost definitely the lifeguard who goes missing. People are also convinced that the third season is going to include a big storyline centered around the Soviets.
Мне нужно знать, откуда пошли эти слухи.
In season 1, we learned that Hawkins' lab was actually built as part of the Cold War, and the children being experimented on there, like 11, were being used to spy on the Soviets. But we've never really explored that aspect of this world or storyline before. But all the evidence right now seems to be pointing to the Soviets making a big comeback and playing a huge role in season 3. In the Starcourt Mall teaser, one of the books prominently on display is Tom Clancy's novel, The Hunt for Red October, which is all about Soviet spies.
Do I need to say more?
And in the date announcement video, fans noticed that hidden in the video was the Russian word for 11, along with the phrase Lynx Corp. Lynxes are like silver cats who are found in Russia. Hello, Russian connection, what up? Then in the official season 3 trailer, we see this electrical explosion at a lab, but it doesn't appear to be Hawkins' lab. Instead, the researchers in it appear to be wearing Soviet gas masks. Reddit, if that's wrong, it's on you. The theory is that Mayor Klein is actually connected to the Soviets, and Starcourt Mall is this big front so that the Soviets can build an underground lab underneath the mall where they're trying to open their own gate to the Upside Down. Giving a lot of credence to this theory is the fact that the mall is called Starcourt. The red star is a main symbol for communism, so the fact that the mall is called Starcourt really makes me think that this theory is going to prove to be totally accurate. The mall is a front, spies everywhere. Watch out, Steve.
I only care about Steve.
There's also like this rogue gunman running around in the trailer who I'm thinking is another one of the Soviet agents. People say that the gun he's using is like a Soviet weapon. People are saying that on Reddit, but it's like,
how many children are you friends with?
And the fact that Steve is working at Scoops Ahoy means he's going to be like right in the center of all of the drama, which means he's going to have plenty more opportunities to protect the kids at any cost. But some fans are worried that Steve might wind up getting killed in the line of duty this year. There was a shot in the trailer of him like getting injected in the neck, and people are like rightfully losing their mind. Could that syringe be how they're infecting people and making them upside down zombies? Maybe it's the antidote. No matter what, if Steve dies,
I'll burn that.
Are we gonna see Brenner again?
He is alive.
We learned last season that he was alive, and the Duffer Brothers have said that they only envision the show going 4 seasons, maybe 5, and so if he is gonna return, it's probably gonna be sooner rather than later. I can totally see Brenner defecting to the Soviets after we thought he died, so that's an easy way to bring him in. But it really seems like there is already a lot going on in season 3, so my bet is that maybe he appears right at the end of the season, setting him up to be the big bad of season 4, which may be the last season. Will Joyce and Hopper ever get together? David Harbour is like the biggest Jopper shipper out there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the couple are actually gonna be a couple. In the trailer, we do see a shot of Hopper seemingly out on a date, and then it immediately cuts to Joyce at home having dinner alone. Could this be implying that maybe she stood him up for their date, or is Hopper finding love with someone else? But then wouldn't they have shown up together? And where are all the other numbered kids? Although a lot of fans hated the episode where 11 went to Chicago and met her sister Callie, aka 8, I understand not liking it because it felt just totally out of place, but that's why we kind of need to bring Callie back to fulfill that storyline. And the Duffers had said that they eventually do intend to bring Callie back and wrap that up. But whether or not Callie comes back this season or down the line, there's still a chance that we could meet some of 11's other numbered siblings. But if we do get to see more of them, don't expect a lot more kids with powers. The tie-in book, Suspicious Minds, revealed that 1 through 7 were totally dud experiments, which leaves only 9 and 10 to actually have powers in addition to 8 and 11. Yeah, I don't think there are any after 11 that we know of. Maybe they have secretly been experimenting on kids that we have never even heard of yet. Right now, I would just expect to have potentially 9 and 10 come into the storyline.
You're watching Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
In the New Year's teaser and the book Worlds Turned Upside Down, there are these hidden phrases that are hinting at things happening in season 3. The most interesting phrases to me are when blue and yellow meet in the west and the silver cat feeds. With when blue and yellow meet in the west, people seem to think that that is referring to the clock in Starcourt Mall. People seem to think that when the two hands meet in the west, aka on the left side of the clock, 9:45, something crazy is gonna happen. And then with the Silver Cat feeds, that seems to be tying into the Lynx Corp. It looks to be like a computer program, so maybe there's like a hacker aspect this season, and maybe the program is what starts to run at 9:45. And then, the world shuts down. I don't know. The monsters come out.
Afternoon, Billy.
Will Billy actually sleep with Mrs. Wheeler? I loved it. Those two had chemistry.
Hi.
Hi.
But are we actually going to see that relationship continue? Sean Levy said that these two definitely have a connection, and so expect to see this explored next season. He did say Mrs. Wheeler is clearly very unhappy and that that's going to make her vulnerable to all kinds of things this season. And so maybe her loneliness is going to drive her to some relationship with Billy, and that's how she falls prey to the Upside Down virus and turns into a zombie. I'm kind of excited about Mrs. Wheeler finding out about the Upside Down. I really hope that happens because she seems awesome. She'd love to see Mrs. Wheeler fight back and have some spark in her life. She deserves that. Let us know if you think I am completely crazy for wanting a lot more Mrs. Wheeler in season 3 in the comments below, and share your theories as to who's the most likely to die. Just don't say Steve. And if it is Steve, I will hunt you down.